Hey, you know what? Skip the intro song. We're not doing the intro song. We just gonna get right to it. This episode right here was crazy. Like, I don't know what to say, y'all. Like, I don't mean to start and get right into it right off the bat like that, but we don't need the intro. We just gonna cut right to the chase. I hope y'all can hear me out there. You know what I'm saying? This episode was absolutely nuts. Yes. Jen, the teacher, you are on the ball with that. This episode definitely was a make episode. This was the make or break episode, definitely, by any means. This episode had to be great, and it definitely was. Um, it was definitely, the first episode was definitely the setup for this monster right here. This episode was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everything from even the small slower parts with Jesse and Ellie. You know what I'm saying? All of those parts, the finding Eugene's weed stash and Jesse knowing about it the whole time, like, just all of that was really good. That was also a setup for the Eugene episode. We know we're going to get a Eugene episode. And then the infected siege of Jackson brought on by the cordyceps, which I think actually proves my theory. I think that Ellie getting bit by that stalker brought the cordyceps to Jackson. Because, as I said in the first episode, when they first showed the pipes busted and brittle with roots in them, the man dug the roots out of the pipes. They showed us him pulling the roots. There were no cordyceps. And then Ellie gets bit by a smarter infected, a more advanced infected. Her bite didn't turn into one of those real ugly scars where the cordyceps, went through the vein system and all of that stuff. I think they followed her. I think there's no way that she can't be a part of the hive. Just says it right there. There's no way that she can't be a part of the hive if the cordyceps are in her. But her getting bitten by that more advanced infected is when the cordyceps then show up in Jackson, right? And here's another point to that. The infected were underground, shielding themselves using the frozen infected as a blanket. And so I remember in the other one, if the infected can touch a piece of that cordyceps, they can send the messages. And that's exactly what happened. Soon as the dude pulled the root system off of those cordyceps, they were able to put up the antennas, look around, and make those cordyceps that were those infected that were chasing Joel and Dina and Abby, they just turned and started running towards Jackson. So that is what brought that on. Just the same way as Ellie was what attracted the cordyceps to Jackson after being bit by that more advanced one. They're more advanced. I love how, like I said before, they are making the cordyceps an actual character on the show now. You see what I'm saying? The way that Bloater singled out Tommy and he was able to get its attention, the way it singled out Maria when she was up there shooting it. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're making it more. One thing I had a problem with is how he was able to run through those infected like that and get the Bloater's attention. Like, for sure, Surely one of them would have jumped on him, but I can give that a pass because then his lady getting out and able to let the dogs out. And when the dogs came out and was, yo, that was so fire. That was such a good episode. I think that The Last of Us did a great job with that first episode. I mean, the second episode. The first episode, yeah. But now I can actually appreciate the first episode a little bit more. It's like I said last night, right? The bad times make you appreciate the good times just that much more. And with that one being a setup, that was crazy. I hope that we get a nice episode with explaining what happened with Eugene and Joel and Eugene. They didn't really get into it. They kind of touched on it a little bit. They didn't really get into it too much. But yeah, he definitely well, this solves the one mystery. Does Ellie know yet? Yes, Ellie knows. Because now Joel is dead. So we know that Ellie knows. Now, I have a theory. I said this theory before in my video. I don't know if the game was ever clear about when Joel's birthday was. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't clear. However, let me see here. Something that I pointed out, and I'm gonna make a prediction here. Here, let me find it. Okay, got it up. Let's share this with you guys. Okay. So now we know that in the city of Jackson, they just now had their New Year's celebration. So it's January. Okay. We also know that the cordyceps outbreak happened in 2003. All right. So Joel's birthday was the day of the cordyceps outbreak. And I believe that it happened in October because they don't have an employee of the month for October yet. Furthermore, to back this up, I think they're giving us a little signal here or a little sign, happy birthday, right? And we also see the Halloween decorations, okay? So I'm assuming that the outbreak, from this information, that the outbreak actually happened in October of 2003, okay? There's another Halloween poster just like this right behind this symbol here. Hold on. I thought I had a picture of it. No, I don't. But trust me, there's another Halloween poster right here in the corner of this bulletin board. And on this bulletin board, it shows the employees of the month for each month, right? It doesn't have May, but it has September. You know, it has August and July. It has a dog in there for July. I don't know what that was all about. I guess the employees was bullshitting that month. They just had to give the dog July real quick. But I think the outbreak happened in October. Now I'm saying all of that to say this. They have to show us the scene where Joel comes clean about killing the fireflies to Ellie. They have to show us that scene. I believe that we're actually going to get a flashback of around Joel's birthday time. You know what I'm saying? I think that his birthday is going to come up in the show. That's just my theory, prediction, you know, my prognostication, I guess you want to say, that is going to happen for this season. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody talks about this or this aspect of it, but I think that we're going to get a flashback. They have to show us when Joel and Ellie talked about him killing the firefly. Now we know that's why she was acting so fucked up towards him. One thing that I can definitely say about this episode is that Ellie was way more likable. And I saw like an after show where they talked and they said that they made her dislikable. I mean, they made her unlikable on the first episode on purpose. Okay, mission accomplished, right? So, but this episode, I really did like how she said, yo, I'm going to go do my patrol with Joel. And don't worry about me and Joel. Joel's Joel, I'm me. We have our thing going on. She pretty much said, I love dude no matter what. And it's always going to be like that. If I'm mad at him or whatever, I just need my time or whatever. Because the truth of the matter is, if you were Ellie and you were sitting down angry at Joel and you just started thinking like, this motherfucker lied to me, he killed him, you have to consider the fact that this guy saved your life, right? And so I don't care how I think that it was like some real like, kind of father-daughter type of shit going on. It really wasn't about him lying or none of that, because at the end of the day, she's got to be grateful that he saved her life, right? She can't be like, woe is me, you didn't let them kill me, right? And if I was Joel, as far as that is concerned, if I was Joel when old girl was torturing him, I would have said that. Your father did have a weapon. He had a scalpel that he was about to kill a little girl with. So fuck your father. I would have said that. If you gonna kill me anyway, she done shot him in the leg, I would have said, fuck him. He was about to kill a little girl. Now chew on that. You sitting up here acting like I killed these innocent people. They was about to kill somebody I love. And I brought her to him. But they never told me that they were gonna kill her or any of that shit. They just they kept that a secret. And then they was gonna kill me if I tried to do anything about it. They wouldn't even let me see her one last time. Like, I would have been going the fuck off. Shit, it's already a wrap, right? Like, you already know you in this house, far away from anybody. This girl done reveal who she is. They all got guns. They done drugged Dina and put her the fuck to sleep. She's over there sleeping. Bro, you already gotta know it's a wrap for you. I'd have been like, fuck you and your dad. He was about to kill that little girl. And so y'all want to kill me because I saved a little girl. Well, go the fuck ahead and do it then. I do it again. I'd have been talking mad shit. He was like, fuck it, go and shut the fuck up and go ahead and do it. Man, I wouldn't have wasted that on that. I would have been pleading the case to the point to where one of them motherfuckers in that room would have probably stopped her from killing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's got a point. They were going to kill the little girl, and they don't even know if she would have been able to produce a vaccine. Like, they were going to do some mad scientist shit on a little girl. That's why they got ate up when they was going to do the same mad scientist shit that they was doing on them fucking monkeys in season 1. So Joel is looking at it like they're going to treat her like one of the monkeys. You know what I'm saying? You could see that hospital or wherever they were, that college that they were at, where they ended up meeting David and his people, they were obviously dedicated to creating a cure for this shit, right? And they were testing on monkeys. That's why there were monkeys running around in the college, breaking through the windows and doing what monkeys do. It's a point where you are not looking at this girl like cargo anymore. You're looking at her like somebody that's you care about. You know what I'm saying? You can't go through thick and thin with somebody and not feel something. And I think he did the right thing. I think he got a bad shake. It's fucked up that it happened. I'm very eager. Yo, I have to say this. If Bella kept the acting on this level of season 2, episode 2, then I take away everything that I said about the casting choice. Because the acting in this episode was chef's kiss. Mwah. She did her fucking thing. All the way down to the little slick shit, the little slick lines, the personality was right there on par with the video game, with the character. And it made you forget about the look of her. It made you forget about the fact that she doesn't really look like the video game character. She did exceptionally well this episode. I think it reminds me of her performance in episode with the episode with Sam and Henry. It reminds me of her performance in that episode. This episode right here, if the performance is on par with this, I think The Last of Us will be fine. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to where she was like, "Yo, it's fucking cold out here. We're 10 feet out, and I'm already not feeling my ass. I already can't feel my ass." And it was like, yo, and the way she delivered the line, the way she delivered the talk. I mean, yo, it was fire. That line was she did her thing. Her coming in there, the episode, I mean the line and the scenes with the ending of Joel, she did perfect. She did great. That whole shit was dope. I love the way they changed it. I love how they changed it up and switched it up a little bit. I love the fact that they had the Horde attack Jackson. I don't think I remember seeing that in the game. I think that is totally unique. It was the highlight of the episode. I mean, that was a fucking turn up. It reminded me of Game of Thrones when they were at the wall looking at the ice monsters coming through. It gave me that kind of vibe, how they had the wall, how they had, like, it really hit. That episode really hit. That scene really heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely in shock. I can't front. I'm in shock. You know what I'm saying? How does she hold our accent? How does she hold it? Yeah, I can't do British accents for too long. And she does. She does very well. She did very well this season. Anybody saying that they didn't like this episode is probably have to say that shit because they've been hard on the show thus far. I can say that I have been honest with the show. And I can definitely admit when I see a good episode. This episode is like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones type level. This episode was fire. When Joel was like, "Yo, we gotta go to Jackson," and she was like, "But we're almost there. It's right up the hill." I was like, "Oh man, they gonna do bro dirty." I was like, she is gonna do him dirty. I was like, "Oh shit." You know, if I was wishing Joel would be like, "Nah, you just saying that because you scared. I gotta go help my people. Fuck you." And he would have just went to Jackson and everything would be all right. She probably would have stabbed him or some shit out there. It probably would have went out to an ill melee right there. You know what I'm saying? And Joel would have been like, "What the fuck?" And Dina would have been there. Like, it probably would have got real ugly. She knew that she had to get that man up there to her people. And man, that shit was fire. Cat in the Temple had the streaming service is HBO. Mickey B said, "My heart is still pounding. It was a great episode, had me on the edge of my seat." Yo, season 2 went from a 6.5 to an 8.4. Yes, I'll go ahead and give it that extra piece right there. I'll say season 2 has gone up to an 8.5 right now. That episode was bananas. That episode, yo, this was an episode that was so good. I didn't want to pause it and stop it and look for symbolism. That's how fucking good this episode was. I just actually watched it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to them for that. I think everybody acted their ass off. The dudes that had, what should happen to those dudes that ran with the flamethrowers and they got scared and ran? What should happen to them, y'all? Y'all gotta give me some things in the comment. Yo, took my bar real daddy daughter day. Ha ha ha. Yo, listen. Um, Ellie's confessional to Jesse about the way the situation is with Joel and them. That shit won me over. It made her likable. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Tommy got lucky as fuck. Do you hear me? Tommy got lucky as fuck. He was so lucky that he focused on the same side that he had already been burning. I was looking at that. I was like, that's right. Hit that same side you already been toasting. Hit that same side. And if he would have tried to like bake him all the way around, old boy would have been able to take a swing at him. But he definitely turned that boy into shiitake pulled shiitake sandwich, yo. He fucked that bloater up. I thought it was kind of corny that no other infected followed the bloater. You know, I would have liked to see some of that. That would have made it more real. You know what I'm saying? Like how in Kung Fu movies where you got the guy, he's standing there fighting a group of people, but he's only fighting one dude and the other ones are just standing around waiting to get hit. You know, what they do, like Jackie Chan talked about that and how he choreographs multiple people throwing punches and kicks at this one person. I think that, you know, they should have did that. That's another thing. But you can't win them all. I definitely say that episode had me on the edge of my seat from the turn up moment. From the very moment that old girl slid down that mountain. And when she started sliding down the mountain, that's when the episode turned up, and it did not turn down. The episode did not turn down at all. You know what I'm saying? It turned up for the whole. Once Shorty slid down that mountain in that snow, the episode turned up and it didn't turn down. It made up for all the slowness of episode 1, for sure. You know what I'm saying? What y'all saying? What y'all saying in the chat? Bill Chill said when Ellie said I can't feel my ass, I was like, what ass? She said the little ass she got just froze right on up. Oh my goodness. Mickey B said, how does she hold? Yeah, she said that the accent thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm back in track with the chat. The action did not stop. They cooked. They cooked for the entire time. Like once it started, they cooked for the entire time. It was crazy. That was, yeah. The bloater picks his target and goes straight on to kill it. True indeed. True indeed. And that we did see that in season 1 too. When that bloater came up out of there, the one guy was able to get it to follow him, and it just like mangled his ass. Like he was able to shoot at it a couple times. It like pulled his body apart. Like it pulled his head off or some old ill shit like that. The regular cordyceps dipped out like the dudes with the flamethrowers. They was like, fuck that. Fuck that alley shit. Yeah. Okay. But you know, one thing about that is you almost got a chance to bloater with a blowtorch than or actually one of them regular clickers or some shit. Because I see you spraying that clicker, he's still coming. He gonna be on you and covered in flames. Like them dude, what needs to happen to the dudes that ran with the flamethrower? Something's got to happen to them. Something's got to happen. Okay, I'm getting some text messages. Yeah, my homie Bill said, yo, that episode is crazy. I can't be on the live stream right now because I'm en route. Yo, I know you're going to go live and talk about it, bro. I'm already live talking about it, man. That episode was crazy. Shout out to bro for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that episode was definitely a lifesaver for that show. If we'll see what happens with the viewership, the critics. There's a lot of people out there that hate this show, right? There's a lot of people out there that hate this show. Rotten Tomatoes, they didn't get a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, I think if it doesn't get a good score this time, that's just a bunch of angry, biased people. You know what I'm saying? Let me send the link. I know somebody want to come up here and say something about this joint. If not, we're gonna go ahead and hop off here. We're not gonna stay on too long. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get this out. Like, now I gotta go back and watch the symbolism because, as I said, the episode was actually so good. I was pausing it at first, but then when Shorty slid down the mountain, like from then on, I just watched. Like, it got real crazy. I was debating with my lady. I said, "Yo, she should." When she climbed up that wall and with that ladder and hopped up there, got that ladder and climbed up that wall, I was like, "Yo, she should have stayed right there for a little while because her getting down and running around there made them run and try to find another way. She should have stayed there for a minute and like got when they left, she should have went the other way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What it makes you wonder what senses do these things have? Can they like hear really good? I know the clickers can. So all of them have these different attributes, which is definitely gonna come in handy when turning these cordyceps into an actual character, which they have successfully done. In my opinion, they have successfully done it. There's a lot of people that don't like this show, but you cannot deny the fact that they have successfully adapted it from a game to a live action. And this episode definitely proves it. It makes me eager for episode 3. Makes me eager to see what they got for episode 3. So nobody's coming up. We got 21 folks up in here. Yes, indeed. I definitely, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and go back and watch it, get the symbolism out of it. I noticed some more stock stuff. Mickey B, I noticed some more. I know you probably did too. I noticed some more stock stuff. We definitely going to talk about it. Even all the way down to like when you're talking about steaks. Why did the dude point out that he made the 2 sandwiches with made out of steak? He was like, "Yo, it's steak." You know what I'm saying? So it's like steaks. You know what I mean? So yeah, they were definitely dropping some of that stock exchange symbolism in there. It's so crazy. Yeah, Fallout. Fallout was really good. Fallout was excellent, actually. Fallout was a great video game adaptation as well. I'm gonna tell you another video game adaptation that was really dope was Twisted Metal. Anthony Mackie did his thing on that. I really love Twisted Metal. I can't wait for season 2 to come out. I'm definitely gonna cover that. I gotta go back and watch season 1 again. I enjoyed Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal's another one. Halo lost me. I'm not gonna lie. Halo. At the first season was cool. Yeah, that Twisted Metal was fire. I thought that shit was gonna be whack, but it was actually fire. Anthony Mackie did his thing in that. That was amazing how they tied it in and gave this character a life and everything. It was dope. HBO must be ran by college dropout because these adaptations going crazy. Yeah, well, you have to follow the money. You know what I'm saying? Go where the money goes. The Witcher, okay. The Witcher was all right. The Witcher fell off a little bit, though, to me. You know what I'm saying? Petty Gibbs, what's going on? Yeah, The Witcher did fall off a little bit for me. But it was cool when it first started. You know what I'm saying? It just started having, like, all of these, like, what the fuck? Why'd they do this moments? And too much of those will kill a show. Yeah, The Witcher fell off. It got bad. But it was started off good. Follow the money. They follow the money. You got I'm sure it's going to take a while to make an adaptation for a video game. You know, there's a lot of red tape going through all of that situation, and I'm sure that the game should at least be a decade old so that it has that solid fan base and stuff like that. And people are still actually playing the games. The forums are lit. There are new things about the games, updates, yada yada yada. Um, that makes it good. I also like what the Minecraft. Minecraft is another video game adaptation that just dropped out, and it has a lot of stock references in it as well. You know what I'm saying? But yes, indeed. We'll talk later. Be on the lookout for the video. I'm still watching Black Mirror, still getting my Severance stuff together. Let's adjourn this right here. We rocked for a quick half hour. I just had to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this episode was fire. It definitely deserved the after show. It definitely deserved some praise amongst all the hate that it's getting. Sometimes you just gotta wait it out. Sometimes you gotta see what they're doing. You know, these people are spending millions of dollars on these productions. Like, sometimes you just gotta wait and see. You know, this episode was great. We'll see what else they got. I'm not gonna say that they just saved everything in the entire season. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have some things in there that'll have people right back on the hate train. But once again, Real Enigmas and Theories is here for the symbolism. And that's what we rocking with. So, just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for the after show tonight. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.